I want people to be a part of that journey. Anybody I work with now, if I'm filming you for hoops, like, you know, it's like, I'm not here for highlights. Like, yeah, if you dunk on someone, cool, I can send you that, that's cool. But it's really like, we're here to document your journey. I feel like for me, all the in-betweens is what builds up the story. Like, okay, matter of fact, this guy, before he went to school, he got in a workout. He went back to the house, showered, ate breakfast, boom, went to school. As soon as school was done, he had a workout. Drove down, got shots up,
So it just needs to be like
had his meal, did his homework, went home, got his mind right, and then same thing next day. People don't do that. And the thing is, like, people say it, and it's different when you see it. It's important, especially for the youth, bro. There's so many kids now, I just feel like they see the highlights and they think that that's what it is. And I'm like, this is what it is.
All day!
And I feel like this year, I've been really pushing myself to like put out more content this year because like I need people to see that.
It's a little older than I thought. What made you pick up a camera in the first place?
Crazy. It definitely is 4 years because my brother and his friends, they were in middle school at the time. And back then, obviously I used to hoop, trained a little bit, got into coaching, mostly for my brother, obviously, like selfishly. But yeah, it kind of started there. My dad used to actually film all the games. So what I did was I would just take the film and I would make edits out of it. And it was one of those things where like I started doing that, started making the edits. You know, like I'm going through my own things, like basketball's not really working out for me the way that I thought it would. So I just decided to pick up a camera.
It's a pretty atypical journey, you know, especially in this amount of time to go from just filming your brother and his friends and then they're, you know, playing high level high school. How did that turn into, you know, working with like Drew Hanlon and then working with the best players in the NBA? Like, why do you think you were able to get to those levels so quickly?
Realistically, the reason I got in those positions wasn't because I was the best videographer, because I was around the best players. And I got there because, like, and it's not to say whatever, like, you have to be a good person. You can't think you're better than the next person. It's funny, like, the way I ended up linking up with all those dudes was off me just showing someone love on Instagram. Sam Lamone, he's Drew Hanlon's videographer. I remember like seeing him post like his camera. He had like this gimbal and I was like, at the time I just had like a little VHS. So I'm like, oh shit, like this guy's like doing this. I used to watch all the Unseen Hours and all that stuff. And they had a feature, it was called Guides. And I just like made a guide of like videographers that I liked. And I just posted and I was like, yo, if you're into this, like check these people out. And I put like a couple of his videos in there. And then he reached out to me and was like, yo, like, let's stay in touch, man. I really appreciate that. Like, that was cool. It was just one of those things. Then I got into like his mentorship group. And then me and him just built a relationship and we got cool. And then it was just like, I just ended up getting that job because I just presented myself the way that I am. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do anything for social media. I didn't try to act cool. I was just myself. It's not like I was, like I said, it's not like I was filming NBA players out here.
Yeah.
I didn't film an NBA player until I went out there. I think for me, being out there, the biggest thing was just, like, I met so many people in that time, and not just athletes, you know, people that actually can help me, like, in my world, like in the camera world.
And that was your first NBA type gig. How did that turn into building relationships with the people that you're working with now?
I think when I was out there, you know, obviously people, they like the work, they like this, they like that. They realize like, oh, I could hang around this guy, I could be around him.
Because you spent a lot of time with us.
Yeah, I was in the gym with him every day. So I think that that's kind of what just, like, oh yeah, I fuck with Zach's stuff. And you know, obviously like Drew and Sam, those guys are always putting my name out there. And that's another part of being a good person. Like, people are always gonna mention your name in rooms that you can't like step into. Ty was obviously looking for someone to be doing his video content, helping with his socials. I had already had like a relationship with him. Me and him had already talked previously about doing this. When we first had like talked and this and that, it was kind of like just a quick call. Like, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna send you like what I think we can do. And I just kind of like built out like some goals. Obviously it's more than followers. Like, let's really build like a community around you, what you're trying to do. You know, like, I don't know if you guys know, he has like AAU team as well. So just like trying to build this whole thing around him. That was kind of my goal with him. And still in the beginning stages of everything. So it's kind of like, there's gonna be things that change, there's gonna be things we add, you know, drop, whatever. He's already very marketable. But making him more marketable and just really showing off who he is and really just bringing like more value to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take the Pelican out, you got a tripod, you got this basketball, this one, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 basketballs, bro. Why you got 8 basketballs? 8. It's a big game for Alex. There's a couple kids that, you know, they have, I guess, ranked over him. So it's gonna just be a real big game. I thought this game was gonna be at Hudson Catholic, but it's actually at the county prep. So we're here just, oh, they're ready too, they're locked in. So.
Yeah, what's it like seeing your brother kind of grow up from, he was a little kid, you know, and then he started getting talented at basketball, and you saw that progression, and then him finally committing to Penn, you know, big D1 school. And what kind of role did you feel like you played for him as he was growing up and developing his skill, you know, on and off the court?
Come on, faster, head up.
I just think really giving him guidance. I grew up, there were things that I did that were good, and there was things that I did that not so good, you know? Like, I really think, like, at the end of the day, it was really up to him. Like, I could tell him what I thought, say like, hey, this and that's what I think you should be doing, or don't do this, don't do that, but like, end of the day, he's the one that made the good decisions. I mean, he's not going to Penn just because he's a good player, he's going there because, you know, he's straight A student. I only could do but so much. I just gave him the advice that, you know, I feel like anyone would give their brother if they want to see them do good. It's just like, hey, like, you got to do X, Y, Z, and if you do this and this and this, that's what's gonna happen. So I think for me, just seeing him take all those steps and just doing it and then, you know, following through, that was big for me.
Alex, my son, best player in the high school, runs best player in the gym.
I feel like, you know, like there was a lot of things that growing up, I wish I had an older brother, and I was like, damn, like, you know, now that he has that, all I gotta do is just kind of like give him whatever, and if he does it, he does it, if he doesn't, he doesn't, you know, so.
We enemies today, you know what I'm saying? I love you, bro.
Good afternoon and welcome to County Prep for today's matchup between College Achieve of Asbury Park Knights and your Hudson Catholic Hawks.
Shooting and editing is enough work in of itself. You know, right now, you said things are going to change. You don't know what it's going to be like. Where do you see your future in this space going?
For a while, I felt like it was really, really hard to find people in the space that like, you like their work and like everything aligns and you can do stuff with them and it just works out. And I've just been blessed the last like 6 months. I've like found like a couple people that I've really worked with. My one buddy, Luke, I've been doing stuff with him. He's been my photographer for the last couple years. And now I'm like, all right, we have like a little bit of a team here. Like we all have like similar goals. We're all like at the point financially where we can, you know, like take the next step and work on things outside of just ourselves. I wouldn't necessarily say an agency per se, but more like production team, more of like a community around like some creatives. Obviously I'm gonna have those like big clients that I'm always gonna shoot and edit for the, you know, foreseeable future. But down the line, like I think that that's gonna just be my focus.
Matter of fact, he said I did. Bro, I'm talking about when we're like 5th grade. That don't matter. You're supposed to.
That's your job. That was before you took care of it. You was before the camera. You were playing basketball still. You were still playing basketball.
I carried.